Hello everyone and welcome to AKA Science's Environmental Science K-2 modification set. In this video, we will be going over the handful of unique or different activities specific to the K-2 grade level kit of our environmental science program. All of the Class 1 activities, Class 3's water chemistry, Class 5's climate versus weather, and Class 7's energy alternatives. So let's get started at the top with Class 1's first activity, food chain theater. Begin by asking the students what is at the start of every food chain. If any of them say the sun, have that student stand up and give them, you guessed it, the sun prop. Now ask your students what makes its own food from the sun. Give the student that says plants, or the one you select, the plant glasses and have them join the sun in the front of the class. And so it continues. The plant is eaten by the bug is eaten by the bird is eaten by the raccoon is eaten by the coyote, and the coyote is decomposed by the mushrooms who returns its energy back to the soil for the plants to consume once again. Have your food chain actors take a bow and we can get on to our next activity, Habitat Hoopla. There are 4 stages to the first chunk of this activity, and they can be completed in any order you want. Start by laying down 2 hula hoops next to each other and asking your students, what are the 4 things a good habitat needs? Let's start with food. If a student says food, have them stand in one of the hoops. If no one can also just pick a student. Now have 3 more students crowd into the second hula hoop. Give the first student a granola bar. No, they can't eat it. And give the second granola bar to the group of 3 students. Ask the students which habitat they would rather live in. The one with plenty of food per organism, or the one with less. Now how about if anyone says water? Have that student or your volunteer stand in one of the hoops and give them the small bottle labeled clean water. Have a second volunteer step into the second hoop and give them the bottle labeled dirty water. Once again, ask the students which habitat they would like to live in and have them join their classmates in that hoop. Now if anybody says shelter, give your volunteer the umbrella and have them stand in one hoop. Have a second volunteer stand in the other, then take the spray bottle and give a little spritz above both of the students, then ask who wants to live in a place sheltered from the rain and who doesn't. And if anybody says space, have one volunteer stand in one hoop and have the rest of the class try their best to cram into the other hoop. Now for phase 2. Tell your students that you have all transformed into ducks. Ideally, during prep, you have placed the cards illustrating food, water, and shelter around your class space. Have your students line up at the starting line and tell them they have 60 seconds to collect one of each card while waddling around like ducks. Once all of your ducks have their cards, have a handful of students put the resource cards back into the space and go another couple of rounds. Whenever you're done being ducks, distribute the worksheet for the final class of Activity 1, Human Impacts. Have your students draw out their ideas about food, water, and shelter in the appropriate boxes on the worksheet, and invite them to draw anything else they think a thriving community might need. Leave time for your students to discuss what they drew and why, then clean up, and that's it for Class 1. So let's move on to Class 3's water chemistry. The basic process is the same as in the previous videos. Pipette out about half a test tube of river water and add a tablet, then shake the heck out of it until the tablet dissolves. However, for the K-2 classes, you will only be doing one test, and that's for pH. So put the tablet in, shake it up, and wait about 5 minutes for the tablet to work its magic, and have your students compare their tubes with the worksheets to assess how high or low the pH of the river water is. Onward and forward to Class 5's climate versus weather. Again, we have something similar to the segment featured in the Class 5 video, but our weather monitoring station will consist of the thermometer and the rain gauge only. And finally, for Class 7's energy alternatives, we are going to make a pinwheel. Begin by having your students fold their paper squares corner to corner, creating a nice X with the creases. Have them cut along the X about 2/3 of the way to the center of the paper, and then take your hole puncher and punch a hole just offset from each corner, and one more right in the center of the square. Pass out the brads and the unsharpened pencils. Using your brad to hold the flaps in place, curl the corners in and put the brad through all 4 holes, then the one in the center. Gently press the brad through the eraser of the pencil and make sure there is enough space for the pinwheel to spin. And just like that, we're done. If you have any more questions, check out our website, akascience.org. Now get out there and good luck.